Spiders always seemed simple. 8 legs, some webs, occasionally a bite if you're unlucky. Nothing more complicated than that. At least that's what we've been taught to believe. But the deeper you dig, the more it feels like spiders have been hiding something. They evolved abilities that feel almost supernatural. Silk stronger than steel, senses that detect you before you even enter the room, movements so fast they blur. The more you learn about them, the more it feels like spiders aren't just predators. They're creatures with secrets and powers we're only beginning to understand. Here's why that's so unsettling. 400 million years. That's how long spiders have existed on this planet. To put that in perspective, dinosaurs only appeared around 230 million years ago. The first flowers didn't bloom until roughly 130 million years ago. Trees, forests, birds, bees, mammals, none of these things existed when spiders first crawled onto land. Spiders emerged during the Devonian period, a time when continents were bare rock with primitive ferns and mosses. The moon hung visibly larger in the sky. The oceans were filled with armored fish and massive arthropods. And onto this hostile, empty landscape came the ancestors of spiders, creatures already equipped with 8 legs, primitive fangs, and a body plan that had evolved in the ocean but was now being tested on dry ground. Here's something most people don't realize. Spiders aren't insects. Saying a spider is an insect is like saying a human is a goldfish. We're both vertebrates, but we split from fish over 400 million years ago. And the differences run deep. The same applies to spiders and insects. Spiders belong to the chelicerates, an ancient group defined by their unique chelicerae mouthparts. Their closest living relatives aren't butterflies or beetles. They're scorpions, horseshoe crabs, ticks, and long-extinct sea creatures like the eurypterids, massive aquatic predators that ruled the oceans before vertebrates ever left the water. Some of these sea scorpions grew over 2 meters long, apex predators in a world humans would find unrecognizable. And here's what makes this lineage genuinely unsettling. While insects evolved 6 legs, compound eyes, and antennae, chelicerates went in a radically different direction. 8 legs, 2 fused body segments instead of 3, simple eyes instead of compound ones. And perhaps most disturbingly, they developed a way of moving their legs that's fundamentally different from almost every other land animal. Spiders don't have extensor muscles in their legs. Instead, they use hydraulics, pumping blood into their limbs to force the joints straight. It's why dying spiders curl up into those tight balls, the hydraulic pressure gone, legs contracting inward with nothing to extend them. It's also part of what makes their movement so deeply unnerving. That alien, stuttering crawl isn't like the smooth motion of insects or the predictable gait of mammals. Spiders conquered land as predators, but they faced a fundamental problem that every carnivore encounters. How do you safely kill something that might kill you first? The answer, refined over hundreds of millions of years, was venom. But here's what surprises most people when they learn how spider venom actually works. It didn't originally evolve to kill, it evolved to digest. Early spiders, like most animals, had digestive enzymes in their guts. At some point, those enzymes began to be produced in glands near their fangs. When injected into prey, these enzymes started breaking down tissue externally, pre-digesting the meal before it was consumed. This gave spiders an enormous advantage. They could begin digesting prey while it was still alive, liquefying its insides into a nutritious soup they could simply suck out. Over time, some of these enzymes mutated. Instead of just dissolving tissue, they started disrupting nerve signals, paralyzing prey almost instantly. What began as an external stomach became a precision weapon. And venom didn't just evolve once. It evolved independently across multiple spider lineages, each time producing different chemical cocktails tailored to specific prey. Tarantulas developed venom optimized for insects and small vertebrates. Black widow spiders evolved neurotoxins that target the nervous systems of much larger animals, including humans. Australian funnel web spiders produce some of the most potent venom on Earth, containing compounds that can kill a person in hours if untreated. But most spider venom isn't designed to kill. It's designed to liquefy. Spiders are external digesters. They bite, inject venom loaded with digestive enzymes, then wait for the prey's insides to turn into soup. Some species even evolved venom that works like an anesthetic. Certain tarantulas inject compounds that numb prey tissue, preventing the victim from struggling while digestion begins. Others use venom that hijacks muscle control, forcing prey into complete paralysis while keeping it alive. Fresh food stored in a living prison for later consumption. This isn't just predation. This is predation that has been perfected for millions of years. And it set the stage for spiders' second innovation, the one that truly defines them: silk. If venom was the spider's weapon, silk became its superpower. Spider silk is legitimately one of the most remarkable materials in nature, possibly in the universe as far as we know. Pound for pound, certain types of spider silk are stronger than steel. Some varieties are more elastic than rubber, stretching up to 40% of their original length without breaking. The golden orb weaver produces silk that literally glows gold in sunlight. Darwin's bark spider makes silk tougher than Kevlar, building webs that span entire rivers, some stretching over 25 meters. And spiders have been producing this miracle material for over 380 million years. But like venom, silk didn't start as a hunting tool. It originally evolved for protecting eggs. Early spiders produced silk from specialized abdominal glands called spinnerets, wrapping their eggs in protective cocoons. Over time, they discovered other uses: drag lines to use as safety tethers, lining their burrows for comfort and structural stability, and eventually, constructing elaborate aerial snares to catch flying prey. Here's where spider silk becomes genuinely extraordinary. Modern spiders don't produce just one type of silk. They produce up to 7 different kinds, each with completely distinct properties, each emerging from a different specialized gland. Dragline silk, the strongest type, forms the framework of webs. Capture silk comes coated in sticky droplets that trap prey. Wrapping silk is used to immobilize struggling victims. Some spiders abandoned traditional webs entirely and found creative new ways to use silk. Bolus spiders spin single threads with sticky balls on the end, swinging them like lassos to catch moths. Net-casting spiders weave small rectangular nets between their front legs, then throw them over passing prey like gladiators. Spitting spiders spray a mixture of silk and venom that simultaneously traps and poisons their victims. Water spiders construct diving bells, underwater air chambers made entirely of silk where they can breathe and raise their young beneath the surface. But perhaps the most incredible use of silk is ballooning. Spiderlings, and even some adult spiders, release strands of silk into the wind, using them like parachutes to travel hundreds, sometimes thousands of kilometers. Spiders have been found on ships in the middle of the ocean, on mountains at extreme altitudes, drifting through the air on invisible threads. They're aerial explorers, colonizing new territories through a method of travel that seems almost magical. Yet the most mind-bending thing about silk isn't its material properties. It's that spiders use it as an extension of their nervous system. A spider's web isn't just a trap, it's a full sensory organ, an extension of the spider's body into the environment. When prey lands on a web, vibrations travel through the silk strands like signals through a neural network. Spiders read these vibrations with extraordinary precision. They can identify prey species from vibration frequency. They can estimate size from movement amplitude. They can distinguish between struggling prey, mating signals from potential partners, wind disturbance, and even different types of insects based purely on how the web resonates. Silk transmits vibrations incredibly efficiently. Each strand acts like a tuned guitar string, resonating at specific frequencies. Different web designs optimize for different types of information. Orb webs, those classic circular webs, are built to detect flying insects with maximum sensitivity. Funnel webs amplify ground vibrations. Cobwebs create chaotic, three-dimensional signal pathways that confuse prey while giving the spider multiple angles of information simultaneously. research has shown that orb-weaving spiders can detect and locate prey in complete darkness, using only these vibrational cues. The web essentially allows them to see through touch, perceiving their environment in ways their eyes alone could never achieve. Some spiders, like tarantulas and trapdoor spiders, detect their prey in a more remarkable way. They don't hear like humans, yet they can feel the faintest vibrations traveling through the ground. Tiny, sensitive hairs on their legs, called setae, pick up every tremor caused by movement in the soil. For a trapdoor spider lying in wait inside its hidden burrow, these vibrations are a silent alarm. The moment it senses a passing meal, it strikes, leaping from the darkness to seize its unsuspecting prey. It's almost as if the spider can listen to the earth itself. And here's something truly extraordinary. Many orb weavers rebuild their webs every single day. They tear down the old structure, consume the silk to recycle the proteins, reclaiming roughly 90% of what they invested, then build a completely fresh web, optimized for current conditions. Weather, prey availability, structural damage. All of these factors get incorporated into the new design. But the truly terrifying thing about spiders isn't the web. It's that the spider itself, the physical body, has features that seem almost engineered for predation. Most spiders have 8 eyes, but they're not like insect eyes. Insects have compound eyes made of thousands of tiny lenses. But jumping spiders developed something extraordinary: telescopic vision. Their large front-facing eyes have layered retinas that can move internally, scanning their environment without any head movement. Beyond their eyes, spiders are covered in thousands of specialized hairs called trichobothria. These hairs are so sensitive they can detect air movements as small as 1/10 the width of a human hair. Some species use them to detect insect wing beats before the prey even touches their web. Others sense air displacement from approaching predators, giving them split-second warnings to flee or fight. One study found that certain spider hairs respond to sound wave frequencies, effectively allowing spiders to hear without ears, perceiving acoustic information through mechanical deflection of these sensory structures. Everything about spider physiology, from their hydraulic legs to their multiple silk glands to their vibration-detecting hairs, seems ruthlessly optimized for predation. But the actual hunting behaviors are where things get genuinely disturbing. Spiders have brains the size of poppy seeds. Most of their nervous system fits inside their cephalothorax, the fused head-body structure, with very little room to spare, and yet some spiders demonstrate behaviors that look suspiciously like planning. So, what's happening inside those poppy seed-sized brains? One theory: spider intelligence might work completely differently from ours. Instead of thinking in one central place, their intelligence is spread throughout their entire body. The web becomes an extension of their mind. Their hydraulic legs give constant feedback. Those thousands of tiny hairs create living maps of everything around them. Their whole body thinks. And that might be more unsettling than any single feature they possess. Spider intelligence might not work anything like ours. It might be a form of cognition we don't understand yet. Here's something that makes spiders even more unsettling. They're not done evolving. Evolution is happening right now in every spider population on Earth. There's even evidence that some species are evolving to live almost exclusively indoors. Climate change is driving shifts too. As global temperatures rise, spider ranges are expanding. Tropical species are moving into previously temperate zones, creating new predator-prey dynamics, new competition, new ecological relationships we can't predict. And spiders have survived everything: multiple mass extinctions, the death of the dinosaurs, ice ages, supervolcano eruptions, asteroid impacts. They've persisted through conditions that wiped out countless other lineages. Barring catastrophic changes to Earth's atmosphere or biosphere, they'll almost certainly outlive humanity too. So, why are spiders so deeply unsettling? It's not just that they're predators. Lots of animals are predators. It's not just their appearance though. The 8 legs and multiple eyes certainly contribute. It's that spiders represent something fundamentally other. They evolved along a completely separate trajectory from almost everything we're familiar with. Their senses work differently. Their movement operates on different mechanical principles. Their cognition, such as it is, might function in ways we can barely comprehend. They're alien intelligences sharing our planet, products of an evolutionary path that diverged from ours 500 million years ago. And they're everywhere. There are over 50,000 described species of spiders, living on every continent except Antarctica. You're probably within a few meters of a spider right now. They're in your walls, your basement, your garden, waiting in stillness, or building their webs in darkness. 400 million years of evolution, refined into 8-legged efficiency. Venom that dissolves you from the inside. Silk stronger than steel. Senses that perceive the world in ways we can't imagine. Bodies that move on hydraulics, possibly even minds that plan and remember despite brains smaller than grains of rice. Spiders aren't just scary because of how they look. They're scary because of what they are. Ancient, optimized, alien, and utterly indifferent to us. They were here long before we arrived, and they'll probably be here long after we're gone, spinning their webs in the ruins of whatever comes next.